Okay, good morning, everyone. Hope you're having a good Thursday. This is our routine weekly briefing for Central North Carolina, covering the period today through next Wednesday. My name is Gail Hartfield, Senior Forecaster here at the National Weather Service in Raleigh. And we'll get started. All right, first off, we've got our first real bout of winter weather coming in the next 24 to 30 hours here. We do have some winter weather advisories in effect for our area and points to the north and west of the Triad region. What we're expecting is precipitation to be moving in late tonight, most likely after midnight, and continuing through Friday morning, and eventually changing over to just all rain by around noon or 1 p.m. tomorrow. Most prime locations are going to be in that area, roughly drawing a line from Roxborough down to Denton, and areas north and west of there will be our prime areas. And it looks like impacts will be fairly minor with this, and I'll get into that in just a moment. But that is the designated area where we have the winter weather advisories out for tonight into tomorrow. Here is our statewide map of the expected 24-hour ice accumulation. As you can see, it looks like most areas will only receive a trace, 1/100 of an inch at most. There will be a few areas that might approach 0.05 or 1/10 of an inch in some parts of the foothills. But in our area of responsibility, we're mainly looking at that I-85 corridor and well northwest of there as being the prime area to see accumulations tonight into Friday morning. Looking at the upcoming weather pattern overall for the next week, again, looks like precipitation will be spreading in from the west and southwest starting tonight. Most likely in central North Carolina will be after midnight. And that will be continuing through the daybreak hours, and that includes the rush hour of the morning, so that may complicate things for portions of the Triad area. It looks like the longest lasting freezing rain threat will be in areas of western Guilford County and across Forsyth County and points to the north and west of there, where you could see several hours of mostly freezing rain. It looks like most of this initial freezing rain won't be terribly heavy, but we're still expecting some accumulation of ice, and that will be mainly on bridges and overpasses. We've got a fairly warm ground, and temperatures in the pre-dawn hours, the overnight tonight, will be just a few degrees below freezing. So it'll warm up toward the freezing mark fairly quickly overnight once the precipitation starts. But nevertheless, it'll stay fairly close to freezing for several hours in that Triad area. And what we're looking at as far as impacts go, not looking for this to be a major glazing that would cause widespread power outages in the Triad area. Now, the further west and north you go, this will be an increasing threat. But as far as our area and our northwest part, we're mainly looking at a light glaze on elevated surfaces, and this will be bridges and overpasses, of course, and elevated sidewalks and on trees and elevated objects like vehicles and fences, things like that. So you could see some branches, maybe get loose branches come down, but we're not expecting any widespread damage from massive icing in this event. We're not expecting that. That said, it will be should be a travel problem, I would think, in most of the Triad area through at least the noon hour tomorrow. Even when the precipitation switches over from freezing rain to rain, which it should, we should see temperatures in the Triad area everywhere go above freezing by noon or 1 p.m. at the latest. But even if you have the temperature rising up to 32, 33, there'll still be some glazing there on some of the bridges and overpasses. So we're really encouraging people to use extra caution there through the morning tomorrow and then into the early afternoon as well, just for any lingering ice on elevated surfaces. We're looking at nearly steady rain will continue, even though temperatures will be warming up above the freezing mark everywhere. And actually, it should be pretty warm in the east. We're looking at temperatures in the 50s in the I-95 corridor and points east. But it will be coming with a steady rain through most of the day tomorrow and into tomorrow night, even lingering into Saturday morning. We are looking at lingering threat of some showers and sprinkles, mainly across the north on Saturday. We'll see generally dry weather Sunday, Monday. We will have a frontal zone in the vicinity, but nothing really to trigger any precipitation, no major moisture, so should be generally dry through that period. Then as we have low pressure forms along that front to our south and west over the southern plains, and that will be approaching us Monday night and bringing a return to showers late Monday night through Tuesday. And that looks like a pretty good bet as some showers with that. And following Wednesday should be finally dry for us. Okay, here's our thunderstorm potential. You see there we're kind of mapped out. Later tonight into tomorrow, we're looking at a isolated storm threat, but by and large, the greatest storm threat is not going to be is going to be east of our area, mostly in the coastal plain and coastal area. So we're not really terribly concerned about any thunderstorm threat here in central North Carolina, just mainly the I-95 corridor and points east, mostly during the day tomorrow. Okay, here's our accumulated precipitation forecast for the next 7 days. This will bring a pretty good shot at some precipitation, as I mentioned, the fact you've got steady rain coming in late tonight and largely continuing through most of tomorrow night, Friday night. And we will get some breaks in there most likely, but still we're looking at an equivalent of 1 to 2 inches possible. Again, that's not 1 to 2 inches of ice because we're only expecting a trace of ice, light glazing. But that is the liquid equivalent precipitation across the entire area of about 1 to 2 inches through this entire event. Then we're looking at the Monday night and Tuesday event. Should be a little bit lighter, should be a little more fast moving. So that will be looking at more around a half an inch, ranging from 1/4 to 3/4 of an inch, something like that. And the 7-day rain totals could approach 2 to 3 inches in some spots. So we're looking at a nice soaking from this tomorrow and tomorrow night, if nothing else. And our summary. So basically what I have laid out here, we're looking at precipitation to spread in from the west and southwest starting tonight into central North Carolina, likely after midnight. And we're looking at by morning, by daybreak, anybody who is waking up at 6, 7 a.m. should probably see most of the area should be covered in some amount of rain by that point. And again, the mostly freezing rain there in the Triad region. And that might last for several hours in Forsyth County and areas to the north and west of there. Temperatures should be warming up to the freezing mark even in the Triad by around noontime. But even then, there might be, as I said, some lingering ice on elevated surfaces, so continue to use caution there. Temperatures are going to be covering close to freezing with the recent warm ground, and so most of that accumulation will be on elevated surfaces, and that includes vehicles and things like that. Nearly steady rain will continue through early Saturday morning with lingering sprinkle threat there. Generally dry conditions for Sunday and Monday, and then showers return late Monday night through Tuesday as a front and low pressure system approach from the west and southwest. And once that moves through, Wednesday should leave us dry with high pressure building in from the west. So, and as far as temperatures go, after a mostly cool day today, fairly chilly, actually well below normal, we should see temperatures fairly steady or rising in a lot of places late tonight into Friday. And our temperatures should be fairly seasonable to above normal as we head into Saturday and Sunday. We're expecting the air mass coming in to be fairly moderate, so temperatures should be above normal, as you can see there in the Raleigh area anyway. High temperatures in the mid to upper 50s, and so similar conditions around all of central North Carolina, so fairly moderate temperatures there to end the weekend and start the next work week. So if anybody has any questions, I'll hang out here and let us know if you have any concerns and weather questions that we can help you with.